All right, guys, another day, some new parts. So this can go on either car, but this comes from DEWLA Design or DEWLA Tuned on Facebook. Thank you, Joe. I really appreciate this, dude. This is his new ECU mount in here. He scribbled that out. But I always love, look, this is the box it comes in. I already took it out, but well packaged, right? Even has its own tape. Like, how bougie is that? Even has a Supra on. I think he has other tape if you have like 300ZX and stuff. Super cool, and actually has color in it. Thought that was badass. But went ahead and took the box out, which is here. This is cool to me. Racing was a company here in Pennsylvania, which still is, that shift knobs. And I always said like they were like the Apple of the car world because they just have cool packaging and stuff. So when you get your product, you also feel a bit more special about it. When you get a premium product, if it just comes in a generic box, you're like, man, this is a lot of money for this how it comes. Well, I think Joe realized that, and look at this. Nice printed black box, DEWLA tuned, even on it too, so it's not like this is just for all of them. Look, it's individual, it's specific to each one of the ECUs, ECU mounts I should say. So again, you can see there, DEWLA tuned. Love that. I love his logo too. I think that's pretty cool. But this is the new ECU mount. This is a modular system. But let's go ahead and crack her open here. All right, cut the tape. Right off the bat, we got some stickers falling down. Stickers are cool too. I have to find some spots for this one. I have this one up. I gotta get a spot for this. Boom. Got the little DEWLA Design parts there for the Instagram. Pull this off. Now, talk about package. Holy cow. Got your grommets, got everything. Look, everything is in here. Everything. All right, does this all come sealed? So we got some felt here. There's instructions that come with this too, guys, that he's got written up on how to install this, which again, I'm gonna go over a lot of this in absolute detail, but I'll at least do the unboxing first. This is nice to keep this all taped up. We got our standoffs here. So let's take this out. Well, the standoffs come off now. Set this here. And replace everything off to the side. Put that here. But I have to put this down. I'm gonna cut this open here, actually. Should be able to do this. So you don't want to go too far. I got this little razor here, so I'm just gonna slice at the top. Just go like so. And the rest of this stuff now, let me go ahead and pull this off. Man, this tape is crazy looking. I've never seen this like clearest looking tape. It's cool. So here it is, guys. It is the DEWLA tuned or DEWLA Design ECU modular plate, top cover, and everything that comes with it. This thing is super trick. Super trick. So you can see it has a billion mounting holes in it. It has literally every mount for every ECU. It even has the mounts up here for my case for the Nexus line. It has the lug stud mounts there. This again has the titanium hardware here. Has titanium in here for the actually hold the ECU on in my case, which is Nexus R5. I'm gonna go over a lot more detail, but I wanted to give you guys just a little rundown. Everything is powder coated. This is your top foot plate. This is your bottom plate. Everything is, I mean, it's beautiful. Standoffs are billet aluminum. They're machined in. So this actually comes with a cover, unlike most. You get rid of your factory cover, which is a lot easier because they have those legs on the side. That's hard to get wiring in because it runs right in the way. So now this is all free on both sides, top and bottom, which I really like. Again, it literally has every mount. If you have every AEM, Link, Haltech, Motec, M-Tron, you name it, it literally is on there. I can get, again, it's going to be listed down below, guys, every ECU. And on top of that, he even has the mounts on it for different things. So say you have something like, in my case, I have like the Haltech module that allows me to have different shift points and stuff, or different Prindle reading, right? Well, you can have your ECU and has a special spot for that. It also has a spot here for like the CAN bus system from Haltech, and same thing with like PDM setup. He designed it, has gone everywhere, so that's why it looks like it has a billion holes in it. And the whole idea is if you can't find it on here, there's got to be a hole tapped here some way, shape, or form that will work for you. If you can't use all of them, you're gonna find it. But it literally has the design layout. And again, instructions are down below showing you where you can mount it at, which ways. If you don't even like that spot, move it to another one. You might not be able to use every hole that's holding your ECU on, but you'll have another way to do it. It's pretty amazing, to be honest. The top plate also has spots, like it's slotted here, to actually even hold your factory ECU stuff. So in this case, this is designed to hold the factory ABS module, so you can mount it to the top of this. So it frees up all the space on the bottom here, but then you can also keep your factory ABS. So you got all this plus your factory ABS is mounted. Pretty cool how that works. Again, he supplies everything here. So some ECUs bolt down, some use like a there's a direct mount, or they use like this VHB system, which is pretty much like Velcro, which he does supply too, to try and keep it from rattling. I mean, it's literally everything is in here. Titanium for this, a lot of the titanium hardware in here. These rubber, or like they're like, I want to say like plastic washers, are to help with vibration, because metal and metal, so it's to help with the vibration part of it. It's just all pretty darn neat if you ask me. Again, there's instructions that will go with this that you guys can utilize. I'm actually looking at them right now on my cell phone here, but it kind of goes over here, so if we can zoom in there. But it shows you all the hardware that should be included, what you need to use and how to install it. And it shows look at all these ECUs. This is just wild. These, for the Holotech, please note, however, when utilizing Nexus series ECUs, we limit to the pre-placed extra modules you could put in there. So you have to be cognitive of that. But again, if you have a Nexus, you pretty much don't need the other modules, because it does everything all in one. But again, Pro A5's on here too, Link, Cyvex. What else do we got on here? Pro 16, M-Tron, ECU Master, like you name it, it can do it. It's crazy. And again, he has all the layouts on this too. It's just really, really trick. So the next goal is to get the ECU out of that, mount it to this, or sorry, mount it to that, and get it in the car. First thing I'm going to do though, why I already have this out, I'm going to cut up some of these bags here. I'm going to go ahead and put these standoffs on. So your two shorter ones here will go up front. So they got these two holes here and here, and then you got your two in the back here and here to put your standoffs on. Now, it's up to you. In my case, I'm going to put the standoff in this spot. The reason for that being, this is where all your wiring's coming down, and this is, in my opinion, kind of in the way. So I'd rather have the standoff over here so it's not. Now, I do have my wiring going up to that too, so I'm going to have to play with it a little bit. But yeah, this is cool. I'm really pumped about this. Again, Joe, thank you again, brother. It means the world to me. So let's get this bitch started. So I wanted to get down here, guys, and show you. So I have the factory cover on it that kind of works, but you can see here it has these plastic mounts on the side that hold it up. So all this wiring's got to get shoved up, where now I won't have that, because this will be all open here, so I don't have to squeeze the wire. Same with the top and the bottom here. I always had to worry about getting it almost squeezed. That will not be an issue anymore. So I just need to pull this off here, get this off, sit this down. You can see here, I had to have like the wire running across. Look at that, it's just a jumbled mess right now. And again, like that there had to be smashed in, where I won't have that now because this will be open. So like I can actually push this off to the side. Now the biggest thing is I need to make sure, see that standoff, I think will be right in the way of that there. So I need to push the standoff to this side and get this all mounted up. So this won't be bad. You can see again, this is horrendous. And some of this wiring is stuff I added after the fact. So again, it's stuff I plan on cleaning up here, making this a little bit prettier so it's not as janky looking. But yeah, I'm kind of excited to get this in now, because this will clean all this up. And I can take out the wood one he sent me as a temporary. So yeah, let's get this sucker out. Let's get it all unplugged. Now that that is all out, you can see the wood one he had made for me. The only thing I might do, and again, it's just the way my wiring's ran, I might push the ECU over this way a little bit, because my wiring is ran this way to go down and over. So this is designed to be flipped. You can either have the connectors facing up or down. It's up to you. My wiring's super long. If I try and do that, it will be bunched up. And on top of it, I have a ton of stuff sitting right here. So I think the ECU is supposed to mount here and here. What's going to be trying to go over top of it. Oop, I didn't mean to hit like that. It's on TV. It's trying to be over top of it like this, which I'd rather run beside it and swoop in than try to come over top, then bring the wiring down in. So I want to try and utilize, again, it has a billion holes, but let's get it mounted up and see how it looks here. I just realized too, is that what these are for? If that is the case, I think that's what these are for. That's super cool, to fill in that last bit of gap that's in there. Oh, dude, that's dope. So it comes with these to make this a little bit bigger and thicker, so it fills out the hole inside of here a little bit better. That was smart. That's a badass idea. Cool idea, Joe. Love that. So yeah, again, I'm gonna have to play around with it too to see where this needs to fit. But I'm gonna put this in first, because again, the best part is I don't have to have this mounted up yet. I can mount it after the fact. It's the other thing. Right now, this is bolted through. He had like tried to tap these holes again. You see thread, but it's wood, and this thing is a tank because this is aluminum case. I didn't trust it, so I put the holes the whole way through, and then put a nut on the back side of it there. But look at that. Look at the difference. So pumped. Again, I'm going to decide here once I get this in to see which stud it goes to. But let's get this unmounted. So this is how it's going to look mounted up. I don't have the other two here, but this is where he has it designed. So I have it facing down, or you could flip it around. There's other mounting holes here, which pushes the backside of the ECU down more, so you have more room for the plugs up top. I prefer it this way. This way, if I have to access pin or anything, check anything, it's right here. Also, it's facing the right way for see your lights. And it makes it nice because right here is where he has the factory mounts too then for either your power and ground. So my power is this one, my ground would be this. And yeah, it just makes it easy. I love that they have the bolt holes for those, which I'm going to pull out of the car here in a second. And again, I think this is what I'm going to use versus this one. Yeah, this is the one. It's going to be in the way of this one now, but there's so much wiring coming here. This is easy to maneuver around, getting around that post, but the other one is not so much. Wanted to go ahead and play around. I've obviously had these cut before, trying to see which way to go, and actually this doesn't get in the way of this now, so this loops around, so the length was perfect there, and I could loop this one out that way, but keeping it close to the center makes more sense since I have wire coming in from this and this. Keeping out of the way of that stuff is actually kind of nice. So yeah, and again, I'll be able to have access to all this stuff. This is going to work out pretty well, honestly. I'm actually pretty happy about this now. But again, I might shift the ECU over, might use this mounting hole here so it brings it over a good bit. But again, I have plenty of slack in both the lines that this will work out well, just because all my wiring runs down this side. Just puts it in a weird predicament spot. I don't need the space over here. I need the space over here. So that's what I need to figure out right now. And I also have to figure out if I'm going to use a turbo Lamic TCU, not for this car, but for that car. So that's a big module. It's massive, actually. So I got to kind of figure out what I'm going to do with that there. Man, I'm not sure how that's going to work. I might have to try and mount it to the top of this. It's just big. And again, realistically, you had a turbo Lamic, you wouldn't use an R5, you'd use an R3. So my situation is quite unique, but I don't really want to use that either. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. All right, I digress. Let's get this in there. So I'm going to take this back off, take this off. I just want to see how it looked. Like I said, I wanted to put those studs on there, see how those look, which is nice. So I can undo this now. Actually, I can leave those on because I'm going to pull this off anyhow. But those studs are up there, which is nice. So before I had them like zip tied up there, so when I was trying to tighten this, I had to like hold it with my hand and use the other hand. Sucked. Now that's hard mounted. It's pretty awesome. I do have to take off, I think this is either a 12 or a 10. It's up here because that sits up there in that place. There's a bolt there, and then they'll use the two factory studs here and here, which I can show you inside the car. All right, next up what we need to do, guys, we're going to install these two tabs. This one goes on the left side, this will be going on the right side. This will be kind of going in like this. We'll have to turn it down, and this one's going to be shoved in this way here. I'm actually going to get my headlight lamp and show you guys. So it's going to have a little bit of flicker to it because this is an LED headlight lamp, so ignore that. But let's get in the car and I'll show you how this needs to go back in. For this here, you're going to reuse the factory hardware. Same with this one here, you're going to reuse the factory bolt hardware there. It's a 10 millimeter, so nothing crazy, but there's an orange plug in the way of this one that I'll have to show you how to remove. All right, guys, so up here, right where my finger's pointing, there's a 10 millimeter bolt. You're going to pull that out. And then on this side here, you'll see this little orange clip. Let's pull this down. You see this little orange clip here. Below it, you'll see a little white tab right here. You want to pull down on that. And I've already pulled down on it, so should be able to pull down and pull out on this. I might have to get my hand out of the way. Pull down, pull out of that, and then this slides off. So that the little white mount here will slide off with the orange connector. So hold on. Once you've done so, you'll see this here, again, another 10 millimeter. You'll need to take that 10 millimeter out, and you're going to slide the next bracket behind it. So take that 10 millimeter out, and I'll show you installing both brackets here then. One other thing you're going to have to do is pull out this skeleton, as I call it. So this will be at the top left, right, and then these here. What I recommend is pulling up and getting these through the studs first. Just be careful you don't strip the studs out. Just pull down and up once you've got both those bolts out. And now you're gonna be like, Ryan, but it's still tight. Realistically, you gotta pull more out. What I did was I pulled this side down first, so I literally grabbed this and yanked it down. This popped out. That allowed me to wiggle this out because there wasn't, see how there's barely anything holding it there versus all this meat, or call it all this metal. So that allowed me to shimmy it down. And yes, you're gonna have to put some force, and yes, it's gonna be scary because you're afraid to break the plastic, but it didn't break. Now you can put those shims in because one shim will go back on this side to replace the metal here, another one will go on this side to replace this metal, and also use as a mount. So the one on this side will mount here, the other one just mounts to this, and it's to help give this support. Again, this is so overthought, it's unreal, but it's perfect for that reason. So the first shim, you see right here, you're gonna push it in this way, and again, it's just a cut open loop. Just push it over till it stops, it's nothing special, and just make sure you can still see that 10 millimeter hole. Now on this side, it's kind of the same thing again. You're gonna take this piece here, you're gonna shove this end in, and then spin it around like so. It's kind of hard to do, and I got all this wiring crap in the way, but you're gonna shove it in from this side, push it in, and then you're gonna twist this down like so. And again, I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's done. Your kit will also come with these. You're going to want to put these on the two lower studs here. So before you put the mount in, which I did a little backwards here, sorry guys. Before you put the mount back in, I got a little ahead of myself, but you need to put these over those little studs there. This helps prop up this, so you're not cranking down and bending the studs. This gives it some extra strength and doesn't bottom it out this way. So you put those down first, then put this over top of it. And then you're going to line up with the top holes here and on that side. Again, it's hard to see here. See if I get my light on. You're going to line with those holes. Again, I've got so much wiring here. I plan on making this as pretty as possible. Now I got a proper mount. So I'm gonna fix a lot of this wiring in here, and hopefully this makes it a little bit easier on me. But again, line those up and you'll bolt them down. Again, this is pretty straightforward, but also these little clips that came with it, which I'm going to show more about, which once it's bolted up because I get a better angle. But this is such an awesome kit. I'm beyond pumped. All right, guys, once you've done that, so again, you're going to put the bolts in up there, back there. I can now put this clip back up, so this can now, oh, look, that actually needs tightened down. That's not tightened down yet. That's why I need to get that one bolt right there below it. So again, our headlight lamp's not working well here, but trying to get the focus. So you get that bolt in, and then right below it, there's another bolt right there, one with the little bolt and conical washer. Tighten that down, and then I can put that clip back up for the orange one. And then that's pretty much it. Put the washers down over that, and that one there, the little studs, whatever, put the 10mm supplied, plug everything back up, put your wiring however you want, and we'll put the cover on. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. So I'll do that last little bit and show you what it looks like when it's done. So now I've got everything plugged back in, and after having a proper ECU mount now, I know I want to fix a lot of these plugs, actually conjoin a bunch of them since they're running to a lot of the same stuff, eliminate some wires, shorten stuff up, like curl this up for now because I originally added this because I couldn't figure out the wheel speed sensors wiring, they weren't working, ended up being stupid setting in the ECU, so wish I never would have cut this, but I don't want to remove these wires and pins because I got it already tapped in, so I just kind of curled those up. So that kind of stinks, but I'm going to put this up here, I'm going to use something, make a mount of some sort so that it holds it like this here. Instead of it just bouncing around, I'm going to make something that holds it. So I'll get all these extra holes. I want to pull it tight. Same with this stuff here. They got these clips too. So this one up here is using, okay, one of those extra clips, which I'll show you here in a minute, that you bolt to the ECU or bolt to the ECU bracket here, and it holds these the female pins or the female clips for DTM. I didn't realize these even existed. So badass. I'm going to buy a bunch of these because I got a bunch of extra holes. I'm going to make all these line up and run up over here. That's my extra ground area for extra wiring and stuff I had. And then the rest of them here, I'm going to use for just mounting them. So these aren't, I don't like this. See how these are all bagging around? Don't like that. I want them 100% mounted down in here so that none of this stuff can move, bang, make any noise. I want it all mounted. So I'm going to conjoin some that can, and then the rest I'm going to make mounts for over here because I got all these extra holes, and then mount it to the actual ECU, so it'll all be right there, and I can pull it in and out. It's not like, all right, which is which. It won't be like this. It'll be all laid out nicely over to the right side of it. So pretty pumped for this. Now the only thing I got to do is put the cover on. Also have to put my antenna, and I'm gonna go ahead and plug this back in. I leave my I leave the ECU plugged in all the time just for the fact I'm always messing with it. Most people don't. Haltech comes with a little cover you could put over it, but I'm gonna plug it all back up and put this cover over it. This is gonna be so nice. I can just pull this off now and get to everything. When I used to pull off the plastic one, because it actually kind of held in the wiring, it was always smashed in. Now I don't have that problem. Everything has so much more room now. This is just 10 times better. I'm beyond happy. I'm not gonna lie. This is super pumped. So I already got the top piece on, but I'm gonna show you guys this. So put the plastics on, it all fits under. Now, here's one thing I wanted to express, and one thing people are gonna see. If you can see, the carpet's pushed up slightly more than normal. So you can see there's where the plastic, it's probably 1/4 of an inch higher. So if you physically look at it, this sits up. You can see it mostly down here. See it there? See what's pressing against the carpet here, where it's kind of like divvying in. So if you don't have a mat on it, you'll be able to see it. Now, if you put a mat up, again, doesn't really matter. And again, for me, I don't really have passengers, but again, when you do, it can't press anything now, it can't hurt nothing. They did that because you got to fit the ABS module up top and some other things to give you as much room as possible. In my opinion, I see no issue with this. Obviously, the closer you can have to OEM so it sits perfect is ideal, but if you wanted to do everything, I think more people are going to not mind this versus having more space underneath. Now, here's the other thing that's nice. I can just pull this down now. Boom, have straight access to it. And again, there's your bolts. You're going to have 4 of those. There's titanium bolts with a conical washer, and then one there and one there. And again, fully mounted. And again, see how the wiring, I can get into it. I like that I can get to everything. Like, just makes life a little bit easier here. I don't know, this is just nicer. Like, again, having all that space there, I thought this is pretty cool. I'm actually super happy to have this. No more having to deal with that OEM stuff, and I can slide this back behind it now. I don't have to pull out this plastic every time, which I was doing before. Now, I don't have to. And again, this doesn't press on this either, so this tab sits here. He designed it so that's not getting broken off. So, yeah, I mean, it all fits. Now, like carpets, I bent it down, it's not gonna flop back down. But yeah, that's it, guys. Like, it doesn't get much better than that.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's it then. She done. So obviously I can get one for this car too, but the biggest takeaway I have for this is it's a fully replaceable mount. So it gets rid of the skeleton, it gets rid of the top piece, it replaces everything. And it's very well thought out. It comes with every nut, bolt, piece you need. Yeah, it's nice. To me, it's like a one and done, because even after the fact, even here later in the future, if you know it doesn't have a mount there already, there's already a billion holes. I just pick one of the holes and utilize it for that. Like for me, it could have literally just been like a scattered bunch of holes and it would have worked out for me. I would just angle the ECU. So it's pretty cool that it has everything there, solid mounted. Don't have to pull it out every time. I can just unbolt the ECU. Yeah, I mean, this is awesome. And the fact the top plate has placement now, so I can use other stuff there. I'm thinking about moving when I do hers because I have to mount another TCU to it. I might mount that to the top plate and keep the bottom completely free still. I'm like, that'll work perfect for her car. Guys, thank you very much for checking in today. I really, really appreciate it. Again, go down below, check out DEWLA Tune's website. I've got it already listed there. You can click right on it and go right there. He's got all the information you guys could ever want. He's also got an update tutorial for himself linked down there. Guys, thank you very much, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.